am Lizzy with Long Distance Gamers. We are a group of friends who play games remotely due to living in different states. Today I'm going to be talking about World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King, which is a pandemic systems of game. Which, if you've watched Rado's videos when he did the video of the missing connection on the 10th anniversary, he called me the pandemic queen because, well, later on in that video, because it was found out that I was the one that tweeted first about that missing connection. So you can see that I love Pandemic. I've absolutely adored the game. And also we did a video collaboration together of ranking our favorite mechanisms of across the Pandemic main core set, which was a really interesting thing, so go ahead and check out that video. Now let's go ahead and talk about what I think about this game in particular. This is after we've played a game. This is final results. We've all come in here into the Ice Crown Citadel to fight the Lich King, so that way we could all just contribute cards. Because how you go is you have a few basic actions that you can do. So you could move, fight, you roll the 2 dice, which I will get to in a second. You could quest, which is just go ahead and rolling the dice, seeing how far you can get up on there, and then every player on your space can go ahead and contribute 1 card to help you move. If the card matches the symbol, you gotta move up on it. The fight symbols are what makes you move up on these, so lots of ways to move up. You could rest and heal damage, so you would, again, roll the die. For every fist you roll, you get a heal damage. If you've played a heal card, you get to add +1. And if you're in a stronghold space, you get to add +1. So there's lots of ways to get health back. Free actions is any one of these that say free actions on these cards. There's like some healing and some travel, and then the fights and defense you add 2 actions. So you can move straight to a stronghold, so you could move to, in this game, any one of these 3, which these are not, you don't start the board with them. They come out through cards, depending on your challenge difficulty level. Depends how many of these you'll get throughout the game. And if you are ever doing a fight action or a quest action, you take +1 damage if the Lich King is in that zone. So basically, the setup will have him in one of these 3 zones. And then anytime you have one of the Scourge rises, he moves to wherever that new outbreak is. And he just causes a little bit of trouble. So, I mean, that's a very, very, very basic overview of how the game plays. So what do I think about it? Well, not the biggest fan. Simply because while there's 3 of these, if you notice, they all are pretty much the same looking. You go and you play and you move around. Some have more spaces. The Lich King has a lot more spaces. There's 3 of each for each of these colors, so the powers slightly change the negative effect that you have. And there's only 1 of the Lich King. So this one is always the same. Always. You will always have this. You will always be getting 3 damage every time you do it, and you'll be moving along the track in the exact same way. I wish that there was some variability with this, but at the same time, these different powers don't add enough variability to make the game really interesting. I mean, I love Pandemic. The strategy, every game is different. However, I play with 5 of the virulent strains and 5 emergency events, so that adds a lot more of the replayability. This, for compared to base Pandemic, has less strategy, there's less going on, and it's just less fun. As far as the theme goes, I am not a World of Warcraft player, so I have no attraction to the theme other than it being a fun fighting little baddies. Which there's a few aspects that Fall of Rome Pandemic, you have to roll dice to fight, but you also have to take Legionnaires with you. So that adds a little bit more strategy. Defenders of the Realm, which a lot of people want to compare this to it, there's really not much as far as to compare it other than you're fighting a baddie. Because in Defenders of the Realm, the dragons or goblins or whatever are marching towards the inner city. This, you just have the Lich King moving from space to space, so it doesn't have much of the same feel. But still, I mean, the dice, 4 of the 6 sides have a single fist, 2 have a shield, and then one of the shields and one of the fists is combining a shield and a fist, and then one of the sides is a double fist. So pretty much every time you roll the dice, you're going to get at least 2 fists. Oh, wow. That was unusual. But you pretty much get... Man, I am having horrible luck rolling right now. But you pretty much get 2 fists every time. So when you're planning, you pretty much go, okay, well, I'm most likely going to get 2 fists. And I'm having a lot of bad luck. But, I mean, you only need 1 fist to get rid of these. The abominations do take 2. But the abominations will walk towards you. That is something that is a little bit different. They will walk towards the nearest player and then cause a point of damage if you end your turn with them. So, I mean, there is that. But it's just there's not much going on. I've played this around 10 times now, and it's just... I've been bored every single time. The first time, there was just not much going on. So I was like, well, maybe if we swap these around and have different powers, maybe the difference in that will be something unique and something that will, you know, add some flavor. I've tried it on harder difficulties with less strongholds, and still, nah. So, I mean, it's just like, it's an okay game, but if you want something that is actually entertaining, this is a pass. It's like a 5 out of 10 for me. So it's an average game, slightly boring, you know, take it or leave it. I'm not having much fun with it. And it's just, I'm just disappointed. To summarize, there's not a whole lot of replayability here. These powers, while they are changing, and while the characters have different powers themselves, it's just, it doesn't add enough oomph for me to really want to bring this game back to the table. There's not a whole lot of tension going on, and it's really like, maybe like a My First Pandemic type of game. So it's like a game for beginners, but it's also, unless you're really into the World of Warcraft theme, this theme is just there. Something I do like about it is that the cards show you where on the board things are. So like this will show you that this location is right there, and it'll show a bigger area right there. So that way you know Vengeance Landing is, okay, right there. However, it is really hard to see these names, especially if the strongholds are in front of them. So I always put the strongholds off to the side. But I mean, that is nice. So I do like that. I do wish that when you are questing, that every time you use one of these cards, you just have to show it. So you just pretty much hang on to 4 of the cards, because that way you can move ahead. And you have a hand limit of 7, so it's only about half of your hand limit. But if you had to discard the card that you were using, that might add a little bit more. But then again, that will kind of take away this special power, because every time you quest here, it's losing a card. But it's just too easy. Not much fun, and I'd rather play Pandemic. But until next time, just remember to have fun, be present, and be you. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you find value in our content, please like, comment, or subscribe. Let a friend or family member know that we exist. Help us spread our channel and bring remote gaming to a table near you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.